As we all know, Chinese is our native tongue. We speak Chinese, we read Chinese, and we learn Chinese.
花千樹句號
But there's another language which is so important that it is extremely well embedded in the school curriculum. We see it everywhere, in the streets, on the signs, even on what we are wearing, as if it was our native language as well. To give a better idea, it is a language spoken by most of the people all around the world, and that is English. It is normal that any word you can think of has a high possibility of owning multiple meanings or definitions. Have you ever wondered which one out of thousands possess the most, and how many does it have? But ranking these words should be pretty easy, right? Just open up a dictionary and leaf through it to see which word has the highest number of definitions. Okay, but which dictionary? And from what year? Now you see where the complications lie. Nevertheless, we do have one authoritative source, which is the Guinness Book of World Records, and it tells us by looking to the Oxford English Dictionary that the word set sits on the throne, with a whopping 430 definitions on its own. Think about it, you can set a set of dishes on a table set at a set time. The word that falls right behind is run, with 396 definitions, and other honorable mentions are go with 368 definitions, take with 343 definitions, as well as the word stand with 334 definitions. Oh, and by the way, a new word is added to the dictionary every 2 hours. Speaking of the meanings of words, ghost words are words recorded in a dictionary or other reference work which is not actually used. Simply put, they are words that aren't words at all, because they have no definition. The most famous example would be dort. This strange little word appeared in the Webster's Second New International Dictionary of 1934, which was the result of someone misreading a note written by a Webster's chemistry editor at the time. Another one is kime, K-I-M-E. It appeared in the Edinburgh Review in the context of a sentence referring to Hindus stabbing their hands with chimes. I don't know if that hurt or not, but it is certain that it was a typo for the word knives. And even worse, apricot made it into the second edition of Holinshed's Chronicles, a book on British history, and it was discovered 300 years later that it is a typo of the word bicoquette, which means a cap or headdress. Now that's a really big typo. In our daily lives, we often repeat words in sentences, especially when we are nervous. There's actually a name for those words, and it's called crutch words. For example,
No, and it was like oh my god,
in that sentence, it's pretty obvious that like is the crutch word. Actually, honestly, and basically are also commonly used as other examples. They offer great help when we need more time to think or to emphasize a point. But the problem with those words is that they can be very annoying if there are too many, and therefore they should be avoided in formal occasions and writings. Take a look at the English alphabet. I don't know if you've thought of this already, but what is the dot above the letters I and J, and why is it there? As a matter of fact, the dot is called a superscript dot, also known as a tittle, an odd word that refers to the tiny overhang in the pen stroke that distinguishes one letter from another very similar letter. So suffice to say, it is meant to distinguish I and J from adjacent vertical strokes in such letters as U, M, and N, thereby helping the letters look recognizable. A sesquipedalian basically refers to a long word. It may be over 3 syllables long, it may be over 20 letters long, depending on how one defines it in their head. So what is the longest sesquipedalian in English? Contradictory? No. Uncopyrightable? No way. And Boguaman's wrong. Even supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Absolutely not. Even though it is already quite long and is one of the top 5 longest words in English, it is undoubtedly not long enough to be the number 1. A sesquipedalian that is right on top of it is the word pneumona ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, which contains 45 letters and is the name of a lung disease. The longest word ever in the English language is the chemical name of titin, the largest known protein, which comprises a staggering 189,819 letters. Before you think it cannot be pronounced, some people who had absolutely nothing else to complete in their lives actually decided to do the impossible for 3.5 hours straight, and they indeed successfully accomplished the literally breathtaking mission. They are truly bored. For people who are afraid of using such long words, they may be suffering from hippopotamostro-sesquipedaliaphobia, which produces fear of sesquipedalians on its victims, and it's itself a sesquipedalian.
I went to a specialist and said, what's wrong with me? Based upon your test results, it's not hard to see. You're afraid of lengthy words, you're not the only one. Here's what your condition's called, but this won't be much fun. Hippopotamostro-sesquipedaliaphobia. Hippopotamostro-sesquipedaliaphobia. If you're afraid of big long words, here's one you should know. Hippopotamostro-sesquipedaliaphobia.
Just how ironic.